right, let's get to the first previously unreleased interview. This one's from March, when Gisele Bündchen came by to promote her new cookbook, Nourish. We talked a lot about health and raising healthy, loving kids. Check this out while I dig into the salad, because I'm hungry. So wait, so speaking of music, your son is very talented, Benny, right?
Benny loves music, and I feel so lucky because every morning when I make him breakfast, he goes in the piano, and I know, look at him. He's so sweet. So he's just, and he plays the piano as I'm making breakfast, and I feel like the luckiest mom in the world. He's very artistic, you know? Yeah. And my daughter, she's more like, let's climb walls. Like, I want to jump horses. Like, I spent the whole Saturday with her in the rock climbing place. Yeah. For like 5 hours I was there.
Oh, you're a good mom.
She loves it. I love it too, but I have to ballet her.
Oh my gosh.
But it's so funny, become a kid again, right? I never thought I wanted to go rock climbing. But then when she started rock climbing and I had to learn how to ballet her, then I'm like, I want to rock climb too. So it's so fun.
I have this experience when I do things like that. I am a child at heart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, totally I can do this. And then I start doing it, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, nope.
You can walk the next day.
Nope. I'm like, oh, it turns out this was not now. This was my 20s. I should have done this in my 20s.
You know, I don't care. I just go for it.
Yeah. No, I go for it, man. Like, we're just built a little differently.
Yeah. And we have a little pain.
And well, I don't work out, so it's just
you have to work out. That's
I know. I know the weight training. I know my doctor and nurse are all over. I'm just like, look, one thing at a time. I lost some weight. Let's work on the next thing now.
But workout's gonna help you with that.
I know. Actually, I feel like I've lost muscle, so I've lost more weight than I actually wanted to.
And after your 40s, you really need to do some weights.
I know. Did my doctor call you?
You see, yes. He said, make sure when you go there, you remind her.
I got the weights. I'm doing the stuff. I'm doing all the...
But it's about the health. So as long as you feel good, you know. So I think exercise, rest, nutrition, all of those things are all the things that go in the bucket of things that help you feel good and feel energized. You're right. And, you know, if you're not going to do it for yourself, no one is going to do it for you.
No, I didn't do it for myself. I'll be really honest with you. I did it because my daughter was like, I need you to live to 110. And I was like, I am not on that path.
I think you are now.
I am on the path now. But I'm doing all the things, you know, crazy or not crazy.
My goal is to be surfing with my kids when I'm 80. So I have work to do. So
I believe in you, but I don't know that I believe.
No. I believe in you. You're going to do it. You're making it happen.
Okay. Gisele believes in me. I can do anything. I have to ask this, though, because I think we have something in common. A lot of people have this in common, but when you were younger, and then it took a while, you were quite the people pleaser. Oh, yeah. And it took a while to learn how to say no. Me too.
I'm still learning.
Me too.
I'm not very good at it.
I'm not either. I feel like it's disrespect. There's something like embedded in me from childhood that is like disrespectful.
I think as girls, sometimes we get raised of like, you know, be the good girl, and to be the good girl, you have to do the right thing. And, you know, and I think that, you know, a friend of mine said something, said, Gisele, you know, your yes means nothing if you don't know how to say no. And yeah, good, right?
Yeah.
Girls, remember that.
Philosophy bomb. That was like,
Let's
wow.
go.
Yeah.
So I keep remembering that. It's like in the back of my mind. So when my inclination is to kind of be a pleaser, but I keep trying to remember that as kind of a mantra to say, is this right for me? Does it feel right, you know, for me? Like, does it feel right in my body? I think we have to like stop, breathe, listen to our bodies and see how it feels before the pleaser comes out running. And I've been practicing that a lot. Sometimes I'm good at it. And some other days I'm kind of like, I could have done better, but you know, I keep practicing. Practice makes it perfect. One day I'll get there. Yeah. Where I'll be a master at it.
Yeah. No? I don't know. I feel like, is it no? No, I feel like it's hard too, like when you are, we, you know, began talking about how we're mothers and we also have many jobs, you know, around that. I think it's hard to do too when you feel the weight of others, of the pressure of your decision is also on others. That's hard for me. That's when I end up saying yes.
And I think as women also, I have 5 sisters. As I told you, I think there's a thing about moms that, you know, sometimes there's that whole thing of like, we feel guilty if we do, if we're guilty if we don't. Like
you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah.
Quite, you know, so it's a little bit like you feel like you constantly like,
tug of war.
Yes, inside your head. And I think that it's so important for us to be kinder to ourselves and love ourselves. I tell my kids, I say, guys, I'm learning how to be a mom, and you guys are my kids, so there's a lot of things I need to do better, and I would like you to tell me. The same way I go and I share with you certain things, like don't scream at your sister, let's take 3 deep breaths before, and then they forget that they're fighting. Yeah. You know, it's like, how can I do better the things that, how can you can tell me also, because I'm learning how to be a mom with you. So I think
and both your kids are so different from each other and how they react.
Different, and I think that you have to go from this place of like, you're learning they are learning, we're all learning together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as they're growing, now I have preteens and a teenager. It's a whole different world.
Not
let me
looking
tell you.
forward to that.
It's amazing.
Cool.
The kind of expansion that needs to happen, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you have to remind yourself when you were a teenager. I was like, what I was doing? I was living in Japan at 14, so I guess my kid can take a bike to his friend's house. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
So
the things we did when we were
the
young,
things
I
we
would
did,
never
I'm
let
like-
my kids do.
I know. I was like, I don't think I would have let Benny go to Japan at 14. No.
No.
So no, I wouldn't have emancipated him. No, I don't
Yeah.
think. But anyway, so it's.
But I think it's about knowing your children too, because maybe your mother knew that about you.
Yeah,
that knew that you were-
I was like cleaning and that's what I try to teach my kids, the chores. I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
I'm not punishing you to teaching you chores. I'm actually helping you, because if I'm not teaching you this, to wash the dishes, to clean your room, to set the
You're
table.
gonna be a mess when you get out there.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Who is going to teach you that in the world? My mom taught me that, so when I left home, I was able to do all those things, and I felt like a capable person. You know what I mean? There's nothing better than to feel like you can do stuff for yourself.
Oh, it's empowering, yeah.
It's so empowering.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so important to teach your kids that, even though they don't like it and they complain, later they're going to be like, okay, thank God my mom taught me that. That's how I felt.
You don't feel like an idiot.
Yeah, you feel like you feel like
Yeah.
you're like, a capable human being, and I tell my kids that all the time. And I think the most important thing too is conversations. I have the best conversations with my kids. We talk about feelings. When I go pick up my son at sports or my daughter at, it's like I have alone time with each of them in the car,
Which is so important.
That's when the jam happens, because you get really to kind of like. Sometimes they want to put the AirPods. No, you don't get to do that in the car with me. You're gonna, and now they love it. They're looking forward to it. They sit in the car. Mom, guess what happened?
Yeah.
But it's like it takes some
Let you
time.
in
But
their
I
world.
think having conversations, it's like the jam that comes out from the conversation. I think they're essential, because that's how you get to know your kid as they transform. And that's how you get to support them in the best way that you can at that time.
Especially if they're going through a hard time. It's like, you can talk to me about anything and say whatever you need to say, like in that moment. It's a safe space. I think that's the best way for our family. We are back at Tom's Restaurant in Upper Manhattan, while our team is back at our 30 Rock headquarters, diligently preparing for our huge Season 6 premiere this Monday. I am bringing you a week's worth of interviews we've never aired before. It's our daily lunch special. Lunch specials. I didn't know where you were going.
I didn't either.
Oh my God. I feel like we're Monica and Ross from Friends this episode. All right, this next one takes us back to when Gloria Gaynor joined us. She had just finished her documentary, Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive. We chatted a lot about her earliest days in music and the power of her most famous songs, so let's take a look. When I have to ask you though, because you have such a natural gift, when did you know that you wanted to sing, you wanted to be a singer?
I was 13 years old.
I was 13.
Were you?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Nobody ever says that. They always say I knew when I was 2.
Oh, no.
I know.
I knew I liked to sing before that, but I didn't know I wanted to sing until a neighbor heard me singing, and when she came out of the shadows and asked me, was that you singing? And I said, yes. She said, oh my goodness, I thought you were the radio. I thought, that's it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna do that.
That's so funny. At 13, it was somebody came around the hall, hearing me sing in a hallway at school, and they said this similar thing, man, you sound like you love singing, why aren't you in choir? And it's so funny. Nobody ever says 13. They always say when they were in the womb. I'm like, how the hell did you know? I'm like, I don't know, okay. I mean, if you come on the show and say that, I totally believe you. I mean, this song has endured for I feel like around 45 years. It's still iconic. You still go to clubs here and people play this song and it lights up everyone.
I know.
What is it like to have a song like that?
It's awesome. It's wonderful, and I recognize that it's a gift from God, a gift that He gave to me to share with the world, and so that's what I do. That's what I have to do, because I feel like He said to the producers, "Look, sit down, write a song, hold on to it. I'm going to send you somebody."
Yeah.
Sent me, and I'm willing and loving doing this. I'm loving taking this song throughout the world, bringing hope and encouragement and empowerment to people all over the world.
I've never told anyone this, and I just thought about it listening to you speak. I was at a choir camp when I was younger, and they had this, the I Will Survive was one of the songs, and I remember looking over, and it was the first time it hit me, the message of a song, because somebody else was singing the song with me, and I was like, oh, you don't know what it's like. You don't know how to sing this song. And I was a teenager, but I was like, I don't think you've ever been through something enough to even understand the gravity of these lyrics that you're singing. And it was the first song, this is just hitting me, that I was in that camp and I looked over and I was like, this is offensive. Like, just stop singing it. Like, you're not singing it right. Like, you've never felt that kind of empowerment after overcoming something. And it's just like one of those things that I think this song does for a lot of people in a lot of different communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Such a powerful thing, such a God thing. So many people have covered this song, me in high school, and Madonna, Harry Styles, Lizzo, Miley Cyrus, everybody has sang this song because they love it so much. What is that like, just to have all these people?
It's awesome. It's validating. It's encouraging, you know.
Well, it all started with you walking into that club.
It's so complimentary for all of these great people, not only to be singing it, but to have recorded it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Well, I know, but you know what's wonderful too is that nothing beats or even comes close to the original. I love all those artists that I just said, but nothing, you hear that original and you are like, I'm just saying, a lot of people cover songs. I cover a lot of songs, but it's just, nothing beats that. Nothing will ever come close to that. It was just meant to be. It landed where it was supposed to. Everything aligned. It took 2 years for them to give away a song. Sometimes labels are dumb, y'all. Okay, what do you hope the audience takes away from watching the documentary?
I hope they take that strength, that courage, that empowerment, add it to their lives, and add it to their lives. And I also hope that they take away from it that the impetus for everything that I've accomplished and all of that I've overcome has been my faith. My faith in Christ Jesus, knowing that he is always there for me, has always been there for me, 100% of the time. He never fails you. He has for you, each and every one of us, an undying, unchanging, unconditional love. And only wants what's best for us, and the only one can make it happen.
Yeah.
Every time.
So I love you ended up, this is an interesting thing, I can't remember how many years apart it was, but you won a Grammy for I Will Survive, and then you came back and won another Grammy for a gospel album. Your faith is very important to you.
Yes.
So like, how was it making that gospel record? Was it like, was the whole process easy, or was it kind of a hard thing to kind of accomplish?
It wasn't difficult to record the album at all, but what was difficult was having it placed with someone, because people can't hear or buy what they don't hear, what they don't know about.
Exists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you can't get a record company to distribute and put this thing in the public arena for you,
It's hard to succeed.
It's very,
at all.
very difficult. It's very, very difficult. So that was the difficulty for me, but God came through.
Amen.
Came
Got a Grammy. Look at that. That's amazing. What's the biggest difference? Because that's, I feel like, around 40 years difference in those two, like, Grammy
They were
wins.
40 years apart.
Yeah, that's
They
incredible.
were 40 years apart.
Yeah.
Because it was something I wanted to do for many years. My ex-management kept saying, "Oh, we will do that. We'll get to that. As soon as we win a Grammy, we'll get to that." Well, you see, as God would have it, I didn't get the Grammy until I did it.
Yeah. You knew.
Yeah.
But you knew back in the club when you wanted to release a song, you knew that it should be the B-side. That's what I'm saying. You should go with your gut, like a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's nice to have opinions, but it's nice to always trust your gut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what was it like, though, the difference between, you know, winning for I Will Survive is one thing. You have, obviously, a really devout faith. Like, you're very devout. So, like, what was the win for that like, though?
The fact that I had trusted my gut,
Yeah.
and that my gut is informed by God, it was just very
the impact
validating.
of those words, yeah.
Very, very validating, and yet another opportunity for me to uplift, encourage, and empower people.
Yeah.
With the words
you were
of
born to
those
do
songs.
that musically, yeah. Thank you guys so much.